Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at another team for the Color Cup. Today we're going to take a look at the best lead, which is going to be Germnaa, the best Caesar, which is going to be the Hisuian Electrode, and the best Closer, which is going to be the Terminator together on one team. And as you're most likely going to be able to already read through the title, is I hit Expert with this team, which is really cool. I'm actually really happy to hit Expert right now. I know a lot of people already hit Legend at this point, but I had a break of over 1.5 weeks in there, and I'm basically playing 2 different teams each day, which kind of makes me very happy about already hitting Expert. So yeah, we see here sadly the debuff onto us, but Electrode with the move Swift. Actually, the first time that I'm using this Pokemon, I think with the new move update there on Swift, is really good. Like, honestly, this Pokemon is amazing. I would really recommend you to give this Pokemon a try. I was honestly wrong about this Pokemon for quite a long time. Like, I basically tried to think that this Pokemon isn't as good as it seems, but it actually is amazing. And so I would really recommend you to give this Pokemon a try, give this team a try. And again here, Electrode is going to be able to put the opponent into range where I can farm them down with a Bomber Snow, and the opponent's Morpeko doesn't have a chance here either. Next opponent, we're going to have a very bad lead for us. We're going to have Trevenant, but we can swap out straight away into the Electrode, which the opponent retaliates with a Toxapex, which doesn't really make too much sense. But we're going to be able to go for 1 Wild Charge, and I decided to go straight for a Swift, which is a bit risky, which is also a bit silly here. But actually we're going to be able to get the shield from the opponent, and I will take that. I will take this. I will hope here that I'm going to be fine by just going into my Germnaa and fully farm them down. And I misclick. I completely misclick for whatever reason. Doesn't make any sense at all what I did here. It is not intentional whatsoever either. And so now we have to hope that there's something in the back that we can still deal with our Terminator. And apparently it's going to be Morpeko, but I decided to, that's again a very big misplay. I should have went for the Dragon Pulse, because now I'm just going to debuff myself. And while I'm going to be able to get some nice energy here, they're going to have, of course, still the Trevenant against us, and I completely screw up this battle here for myself. So, yeah, that was completely silly. Like, that did not make any sense at all, or like whatsoever. And so, yeah, we're going to have to still kind of deal with it. We're going to have here the Seedmon coming through. We're going to be able to go for the full farm down here at least. But not before we have to use a shield. Please just be the Shadow Ball. It is a Shadow Ball, so it's the correct shield. And they're still going to get to a move. It's going to be resisted, but can we still survive it? We cannot, and this is my own fault there for sure. I don't know. I honestly don't know why it decided to swap out into my Terminator there. It just didn't make any sense at all. But anyway, we want to see here the next opponent. Ferrothorn against us in the lead. That's going to be horrible. And I'm going to go for bait first. But yeah, again, we were able to hit the next rank with this team here with Expert. So this team is definitely amazing. Like, this team is absolutely amazing. For me, there was just definitely a mistake that I did before. I have no idea why I went into that Pokemon. But here we can take 2 hits from the opponent. We can resist basically every single hit from the Ferrothorn anyway, which is going to be cool. And because Wild Charge is so hard hitting, it doesn't really matter what they want to do here, because they're going to be able to get to another one here. Get the shield or the KO. Let's see what the opponent is going to decide to go for. They decide to go for the shield here, and I can still reach a Swift. I cannot reach a Wild Charge there, but Swift is going to be fine as well, getting the opponent a little bit lower as well. And so we have, basically a shield advantage, and we have a little bit of an energy advantage as well on our Pokemon here. So that's going to be okay. Let's see what they have in the back. It's going to be Kingdra. I can get rid of the final shield from the opponent. Now it just depends on if they're gonna get the debuff onto our Germnaa or not. This literally completely decides the entire game here. Let's see, they decide to go for a charge move. We can use a shield here as well. It is going to be the Octazooka, and we don't get the debuff. And this is going to allow us to win the battle as the opponent decides to forfeit. Amazing lead for us. So we're going to see here, the swap out into the Golisopon and make a bit of a mistake, I guess. We're going to go ahead and go for the Swift here, which is going to be fine because the opponent decides to use the shield anyway. But what I didn't know is, which you're going to see here very soon, is that we can just play it out. We're going to be able to go ahead and use a shield here. I'm actually going to go ahead and go for the Wild Charge now, hoping that I'm going to be able to outspeed the opponent. But as we will see here, the opponent is going to go for their own next charge move. That's totally fine. I could have went for the Swift. Swift would have not done enough damage yet, but it would have been kind of close. And as we will see here, the opponent wins the CMP tie. I did not know this. Hisuian Electrode has a 121 attack stat, while Golisopod has 123 attack stat. So it's 2 difference, and that completely decided the game now, because now all of a sudden the opponent can actually realign themselves, which I didn't expect at all. And so yeah, that is really bad, because as you're gonna see here, there's a spear in the back, and we're gonna lose this battle because of 2 attack stat points basically. Honestly, I didn't think that we would have lost the CMP there. That's definitely my fault. But again, like, you live and learn. You learn from those mistakes here, which is always kind of good. We're going to have here the Swift coming through against the opponents with Emolga. As you'll see here, 2 Swifts actually are going to be kind of enough to knock them out. We are going to use a shield against the Acrobatics, and they're going to swap out into the Marowak, allowing us to get some wild charges off. And honestly, I make a bit of a mistake here. I should just go straight for next wild charge as well, which I do. Never mind, I don't make a mistake here at all. This will allow us to keep alignment, which you're gonna know, used to get into our gas and still keep our other Pokemon alive. We're gonna get the full farm down done here for sure as well. This should be just a Bone Club. I don't think it's going to be the Shadow Bone again. And so we should be in a very solid spot. As we'll see here, the opponent is gonna swap into their own Gastrodon, which I have to hope that I can hit this Earth Power. This would be crucial. I need to get some damage onto them, and we do get the damage onto them, which is going to be really beneficial, because now we might be able to put the opponent into range where Incinerate down would be an option. And I'm gonna call the bait here as well, which is super important, because if they go for the Earth Power, we would go down. But I needed to kind of call a shield here, or like call a bait there. As we will see here, the opponent trying still their best. We're going to go ahead and go for the swap out into the Electrode. I can still try to reach a Swift, which works out really well for me. Swift is coming through. It's going to allow us to get the shield from the opponent. We can go for the full farm down in time, kinda. But we're still going to be forced to go for another charge move here against the opponent. We're going to go for the Dragon Pulse straight away, because I don't want to get hit by any move here, to be fair. This is going to allow us to get the KO, and now it depends on if we're going to still knock out the Gastrodon, and we can. And that was quite lucky. But yeah, let's move on to the next opponent. Credilli, that's going to be also a little bit of an awkward one, right? We're going to stop out again into our Electro to get out the Marowak, which actually is really good, because I don't want to have the Marowak against my Pokemon in the back. I don't really like to have it against my Turtonator. Turtonator is going to struggle a little bit against Marowak because of the ground type coverage, of course, that this Pokemon has with all its bones. Honestly, it needs like some kind of fast move with a bone as well. Is there more Pokemon moves with a bone in there? Let me know down below. But I feel like we need more bones. And okay, I'm not gonna say anything anymore. Anyway, we're gonna see a Credilli, and we're gonna try to catch a move, didn't work out. And now we're gonna have Toxic Packs against our Turtonator, and that's gonna be a bit of a difficult one, because I have to go for Dragon Pulse, and we see here already Dragon Pulse is not a good move. Should Dragon Pulse get a buff? I feel like that would be kind of easily done as well, because I feel like Dragon Pulse is such a garbage move, and like there are not really a lot of Pokemon really learn or use it. Dragon Pulse is 60 energy for 90 damage. Like, compared to something like Avalanche, which is 45 energy for 90 damage, you see already on how garbage Dragon Pulse is, which I don't really know why it is even that bad. Anyway, next opponent. Charjabug. Charjabug is going to be very solid for us, because we're going to be able to resist the fast moves at least. And we can go for the Earth Power here to do a lot of damage straight away, which is going to be great. They swap out into the Credilli, allowing me to go into my Turtonator. And yeah, here's the thing as well with Turtonator. Do you go for Overheat, or do you go for the Dragon Pulse? So far, I go for Dragon Pulse the entire time, because it cannot debuff myself. And this is going to allow us to get some nice damage and guaranteed, but Overheat would have most likely put them into knockout range. So maybe you should actually go for Overheat in those scenarios here, because now I'm going to be forced to go into my Electro to go for the full Thunder Shock down, which is actually a very solid play as well though, because you're going to be able to get a ton of energy, and especially with Pokemon like Electrode, you're going to really appreciate the extra energy. And I could decide to swap out of here as well, and I must say I should have decided to swap out of here as well, but I decided to go for a Swift, get the knockout or the shield here. And we should be able to take a hit and just farm them all the way down before they can do anything else. Extra is coming through. We're gonna go for the full farm down. And let's see who is going to come in next. It's going to be the Quagsire from the opponent. I can go for the Earth Power to do tremendous amounts of damage here. Let's see if it's going to work out for us. It does not. We're gonna get the shield. And we can still go for our Body Slam. I cannot try to put them into a Swift range here right now, but it's not going to be as easy, as we all see here. Them overflying by quite a bit. I tried my best to yeah, go ahead and go into my Electrode now and try to go for the Swift in time, but as we all see here, the opponent can still spam its moves. It should be kind of energy dry now at this point, but we're still going to be able to go for a charge move that's going to be amazing, because it might allow us to still win this battle. Let's see what they had there. Still they had the Credilli, and this is going to be a good game. Next opponent, we're going to have Talonflame here. That is going to be okay. We're going to be able to see again the Credilli coming in, and this time around, should I go for Overheat? I could definitely go for Overheat here. Overheat would allow me to do a lot of damage, But I decided to go for the Dragon Pulse again. Yeah, let's see if they're gonna no shield or not. Overheat maybe would have been the better play. They no shield, overheat would have been the better play. Overheat, by the way, does I think like nearly 50% more damage compared to what we had there. So yeah, overheat is by far the better move to go for. But as you will see here, we're gonna let the move go through again. We're going to have a very similar scenario for ourselves. We're gonna be able to go for the full farm down. We have a move start now. It's going to be the Talonflame coming back in. We can go for the Swift spam here because I kind of have to be careful. They know that they have Wild Charge, and Wild Charge would be enough to knock them out. And so we can go for another Swift here. Could have maybe also went for the Wild Charge just to kind of force them to go ahead and... no, it doesn't really matter because we were able to get the shield anyway. But I feel like maybe it would be the better idea to not play it as risky. But we can now go ahead and go for a body slam against the opponent, which is fine. We're going to get the opponent low enough, maybe even low enough for Swift range very soon. But of course, this would do a lot of damage here if I had no shield and I decided to use a shield here. It's going to be with the Brave Bird. In comes the Ferrothorn. That's going to be very difficult for us to win. But we can still try our best. And I make a big mistake here as well. Earth Power is fine. We're going to get our no shield. Yeah, okay, it's going to be basically game over. We have to overfarm now quite a bit with our Electrode and then try to go for the Wild Charge to knock them out. And I overfarmed by a little bit too much. But I don't think if I had one less energy, I think the opponent would have got the Incinerate in before I can get to a Swift. I think I would have lost no matter what. Horrible lead and horrible say-stop for us. We're going to have the Typhlosion coming in. But we're at least going to be able to go for one Swift here against the opponent. That's going to get the shield from them. And we can go for another Swift afterwards, which is going to allow us to get some nice damage. We're going to try our best to go for the Gastrodon again. This is going to be the best bet for us as well, because everything is going to be resisted. Same, by the way, for Turtonator. Turtonator would have been even better to take the Blast Burn, but I can just knock them out a little bit faster. And we know that Turtonator needs to kind of win against two Pokemon. And this looks very solid for us, because we have that shield advantage. Because of the shield advantage, we should be able to, get the full farm done here. But also, I should be able to maybe even leave this matchup without any damage onto my Turtonator, other than, of course, the Fire Spin damage. And if this is the case, I am going to be basically winning immediately, because again, for Ferrothorn, you resist every single thing, and the opponent knows this ball, and they decide to forfeit. Second to last battle, horrible lead for us, but we're gonna swap out now into our Gastrodon and to our Turtonator. Usually, you of course want to go ahead and go into the Electrode as a say-so, but not in this case where you really needed to deal with a Mantine later on. And so that's why I decided to swap out into my Turtonator. I should be able to take another hit here as well, as I might be even able to get a shield advantage against the opponent, which would be kind of cool. So, let's see. Dragon Pulse coming through. We're going to be able to get the shield advantage immediately, and I can still reach another one. And I'm curious if I would have been better off going for the for the Overheat here instead. But I'm going to check this out real quick on the side, because Overheat is going to do, of course, resisted damage, but it's just a better move to go for, generally speaking. So, see here, we're going to be able to go for the full farm down. And Dragon Pulse does. I can even see it here real quick. I'm gonna have to change something real quick for PV Poke. Dragon Pulse does 52 damage against the Mandibus. I have here Mantine. Against the Mantine, it does 38%, while the Overheat does 45%. So it is better to go for the Dragon Pulse still, even though Overheat does way more damage total. It is just still worse because of the type effectiveness. So that's at least good to know. Final battle for today, we're going to have Gastrodon against the opponent's Quagsire again. This team was actually really, really nice, especially for being more of a theme team. Being able to hit the next rank is kind of nice as well. My goal is to hit Legend in 2 weeks. I don't want to hit Legend in the next week yet, because we have like Master League coming up, as well as this Cup again, so I hope that I'm not going to be able to do that. But as you will see here, we had the Stone Edge coming through, going to allow the opponent to stop out into the Mechagon. I make a big mistake. I wanted to go for the Wild Shot 1 earlier, but I didn't. And this actually would have allowed us to get a shield advantage here or the knockout immediately and keep the switch, which would have been way better. But we're still going to be able to go for the full farm down here. They reveal that they have Talonflame in the back, and we can go for the Body Slam spam against the opponent, which is going to be very, very good, because now we can stop out. We can take the Incinerate like it's nothing. Incinerate is literally double resisted, which you see as well based on how little Turtonator is going to get damaged from it. But we can now go ahead and go for the Dragon Pulse, and this is going to get the shield from us, from the opponent, and we can hope that they go for the Brave Bird here. I would assume that they're going to try to catch the next move, where I have to just go for one extra false move here. I think they're going to try to catch, And this works out perfect because now we have the Quagsire against us. As long as it's not a Stone Edge, we should be able to win the battle because an Aqua Tail is not going to be enough. It is just the Aqua Tail, Dragon Pulse connecting, this should be it. And this is going to be also it for this video. This team was actually really nice. Again, I had the next rank expert with this team here. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like and I will see you then. Bye bye.